No, you need to reset it. But we are back on the stream. Are we live?
Yellow flag is out.
And we come right back to a yellow flag. Apologies for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, and Mo Perry is backwards, getting pointed the right direction as the number 54 Toyota brings out another, I believe, the fourth caution we've got here as we've come back a couple laps more into this, but no, it looks like this might be the name of the game tonight. It might be one of those races that just takes a while to get through because 11 drivers that started this race. We already saw Griffin Jones take it to the pits for good, and now Mo Perry, all on their own, just gonna... It doesn't look like it's going to be too big of a deal, not too much significant damage, but we'll see the replay here. As Nolan Sanford's on the outside, and then Mo just gets it all squirrely alone on the bottom side, gets onto that yellow line, and the difference between the banking on the racetrack and on the warm-up lane, too much for the 54. Sliding sideways and backwards and all. Oh, no, it ain't good. That ain't good.
I thought I turned my radio off. For some reason, I'm still hearing people. Just bear with us, folks. We're trying to figure it out. I don't know why. I'm hearing stuff. Yeah, I turned voice chat off. Yeah, for some reason, it's still on. There we go. We're learning as we go. Everything was going well until the stream decided to crash.
Hey, stuff happens. Stuff happens. It's games. It's games. It's video games. Just remember, it's video games.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are under yellow. Isaac Johnson leads the way. We talked to Cole Freilich while stream was down, getting a gist of what was going on. We said there were 3 tire sets to get through this race. That is not true. The actual setting that they have for this session is unlimited. So every time they get a chance, these drivers are pitting, getting fresh rubber on their cars.
As you should.
And that is equating to what we're seeing transpire here. Every time we see a yellow, we see the field come in for fresh rubber. So, no, that changes the game a lot because, like we've mentioned already in the stream, it is a racetrack that chews up tires pretty good.
Yeah,
it's like giving a new toy to a puppy.
Exactly. If you have it, use it. I don't blame him at all for taking the advantage rather than try to commit to being somewhat realistic. But I mean, hey, if you're gonna go 2008 Indy, by all means, get every single truck from the factory here.
Beautiful reference. And we're back to green flag racing, 40 laps down, about 75. Nope, sorry, that's not right. About 85 laps to go. As back into turn number 3 now, Isaac Johnson leading the way. Won out last time at Daytona. And the Slipstream Signs Racecraft Academy, number 33, goes back across the line again. Jack Painter in second and Cole Freilich in third. Spencer Madden was the one who changed up the ball game by taking 2 tires a couple pit stops ago. Everybody else is now in pursuit of that as well, as changing those 2 tires gives them the track position, and really they're leaning so much on the right sides that the lefts they can handle keeping those lefts a little bit more used up.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting call. It definitely worked out in the beginning because of the fact that he jumped up to the race lead, but everybody figured it out, and now everyone's just doing it. So, is there a moment?
Your leader's slowing down. Yep, Johnson slid really bad off of turn number 2, and now he's all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack.
He's taking
wonder
the
if
pit
there's
road.
some sort of I wonder if there's some sort of problem for the 33 car, as out of nowhere, I mean, he's just going to come out of turn number 2 and just watch this power slide here. Yikes. And then for some reason, something happens, and the 33 car just goes right down low. And, oh, no, never mind. Here he comes.
So this is back a little bit further.
He just did a drive-through penalty. He might have jumped the start.
I don't even know how you jumped the start. Wasn't he the leader?
He might have jumped the start. They might have been what they called him for, because he just did a drive-through.
I have never.
Noah's. Yeah, so we'll bring it back here. There he is. He's behind, one lap down now, and your leader is now Jack Painter, at least for the time being, as Cole Frelick's trying to look at making a run again on the inside line. It's that thing that Cole Frelick has done a couple times already in this race, Noah. He's just trying to send it in deep and get out front, maybe do a little bit of a dirt track slide job, and Jack Painter holds him off this time.
Yeah, he's doing the same thing that Jack was trying to do, which is just drive it in deep and hope it sticks. And so far, it's working. But here we talked about at the start. Here comes Spencer Madden going to try and peek down low. He's going to try and make this a three-way fight for the race lead. But for the time being, Cole Frelick is going to bide his time, stay in line. He's going to maybe try and get a run off the wall. He actually scrapes it. You can hear it a little bit when he entered the corner. But right now, he's still hanging on to it. He's going to have a good run heading into 3 this time by.
Oh, big slide. I'm watching Isaac Johnson a little bit. There you go. Say it. Scream it like Johnny Gibson across the top. Cuts back. Jack Painter shows him a door, and Jack Painter crosses back on Frelick, but Frelick's going to send it in deep again. Tried for it. Painter brought the momentum, and Spencer Madden going to try to capitalize on the bottom side of the racetrack. Is down the back straightaway again. The 6 car and 15 side by side. That's going to pin Cole Frelick in line. And this time he's just going to have to follow through the tire tracks of the 97.
Again, Cole really close off a corner before there. He about knocked down the wall legs in the 4th turn. He holds on to it, and he stays in the 2nd position as Spencer Madden, again, still trying to make that bottom side work. It's starting to go his way a little bit, but if you're not too careful and you look right behind him, here comes Nolan Sanford going to start knocking on the door for the 3rd spot. He is going to run that top line, and he is going to start to make his fight for the race lead as he still continues to work on that number 6 car.
Beautiful camera shot as the yellow flag comes out on the racetrack. This is going to have Austin Ripp and Jet Miller involved in a crash right down the backstretch coming down towards turn number 3. So once again, we are under yellow. 75 laps to go in this race. We got 50 of them down. We got plenty more to go. 2 black race cars coming into the pit lane, and I see a lot of damage on Jet Miller's right front. So we'll catch this back, Noah, and see what happens between these two.
So Jet Miller going to try and work it off the top side. Gets into the wall, goes right back down to the path of the 65 car. Oh! He about did it. We saw this in practice. Oh, you can look as well. You could see it. You looked like you said that it looked like Austin Ripp might have got the worst bit of damage on it, but if you can get a peek at the right side of the number 3 car, the right front suspension has collapsed on that car. So that might have taken Jet Miller's no good, very bad race. He might have put him on the shelf. I believe he still got a fast repair from this.
That is correct. That is correct.
So,
but you saw in that replay back too. You saw Jet drive up the wall. There's this thing with Rockingham and iRacing where you actually, when you hit the wall, you can end up driving up it or at least having it projectile throw you back. That's that slide right there. You saw him up on the side of the car. That is what we're talking about when we talk about this racetrack potentially using these drivers like a ping pong ball. As nice little reference into Austin Ripp's livery on the side of the 65 Ford Mustang. But you watch it one more time. Now, this isn't the time he actually does it here, but when he came up into the wall and he came back and hit that. So
we're gonna do it the old school way. Yep, there. I figured it out.
There it is. There you go. Old school. Hey, that's what it's all about. So yeah, this is what we're talking about. This is Jet Miller. You're gonna go up the racetrack, and then it's the second time really that's gonna get it. Although you can see how out of whack the car gets. It's this one when he goes up into the wall. This is something the drivers need to be careful with tonight. You can literally drive up the wall on the back straightaway, and it could be a lot worse for Jet.
You know, that's realistic if you remember, because back in the day, the backstretch wall had a little bit of banking to it. It was indented inward towards the race. Actually, no, it was indented backwards out of the racetrack. So it kind of had this ramp effect. So there was a couple times, I can't remember the driver's name off the top of my head. I should remember. I don't know why I don't. There was a driver who came off of turn number 2 and actually rode the wall on his side all the way down the back straightaway and skidded to a stop. I believe he even flipped it. It was his primary car. It was one of the part-time teams. I'm going to have to look that up. I can't remember who it was, but it was an iconic wreck to happen at this racetrack. You can kind of see it here, too. If you look at that wall, you can kind of see, if you look back at the exit of turn number 2, that it's banked a little bit outward. It is not pushed inward like the rest of the track.
And that's why it's a ramp, because it's literally a ramp. Yeah. Now, the field's coming through turns 3 and 4. Freilich has the inside line. Painter has the outside. And we're pretty much only double file at the very, very front here. I guess the guys are deciding they want to be a little more careful off the restart. Coming back to the green, Jack Painter and Mo Perry, actually both of them on the top side, got an excellent restart compared to Cole Freilich. Back into turn number 1, Painter leads Perry, and then Freilich's in there still trying to make a push of things on the bottom side of the racetrack. Oh, Mo Perry just clipped the wall really hard out of the corner to see if there's any damage to the right side of the 54 machine as Jack Painter gets a couple car lengths clearer.
You look, there's a little bit of a breakaway up here in the top 4. Harry Grindell, another driver who had a couple incidents early in the race. He now runs in the 4th position. If you look back, there is a big gaggle of cars, and that includes Spencer Madden and your points leader, Isaac Johnson, who's not going to make a peek underneath Adam Harrington for that 6th position as he's going to take it heading into turn number 3. But there's a sizable gap, about a second difference between the top 4 in that 5th position.
And that was actually Isaac Johnson going 2 for 1 last time through the corner. And yes, that gap is pretty sizable, but the 33 and the 6 car have proven that they're fast tonight, fast enough to stay involved in this. So just give them time. And especially if we see another yellow flag, they're in a pretty good position to just ride out some of the middle parts of this race right now. We're only 56 laps into this show. We're not even halfway, Noah. So there's plenty of time for things to move and shake and get the 6 and 33 car back up front here. In the meantime, you're watching Harry Grindell and Mo Perry in a little battle for 3rd place as the Toyota number 54 still holds out on Harry's number 70 car. Coming back, there's Spencer Madden. Actually, looks like Spencer Madden is gaining that time back on his
oh
own.
My goodness!
That's a yellow. Wow, Mo Perry. That's a lot.
Wow, what a hit.
I hope he's okay. I guess he's all right, isn't he?
That's an ungodly reference.
That's terrible. Yeah. Anyway, we'll catch this replay back again. Mo Perry just a little bit much on the overcorrection.
Here, I gotta go back.
And that's something that's interesting about these cars is they have a lot of understeer. Like, you get sideways in these things, you actually don't want to correct that much because you're gonna end up catching the front tires and sending it up into the outside wall really hard like that. That's absolutely that was a hard hit for Mo Perry. I'm surprised the engine didn't get knocked out of that car there.
Yeah, that was a tough hit. So you see, he's gonna go into turn number 3 and 4. We're gonna watch out to see if the car just unloads. You can see the bumps up there on the top of the racetrack, and the back end's just gonna step out. And like you said, tries to save it, should have let it spin, but instead, hard hit. Look at Spencer Ray, how much wheel he puts into it, trying to avoid that. He almost went around himself, which from the position that he's in, he could have easily knocked down the inside pit wall if he would have spun the way he was looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely true. I guess maybe for a sanity check, maybe for entertainment purposes, maybe just as a check-in, we can actually talk to the driver of car number 54. First in-race report of the night, and it's Mo Perry. Mo Perry, Joe Donahue, up in the broadcast booth. You got a heavy clip of the wall there, my man.
I'm just trying to not perish, and unfortunately, I guess more so, perhaps fortunately for me, because I got a headache right now, I'm one step closer to being out of this fucking thing. Freaking thing, I'm so sorry.
That's crazy. That's okay. That's okay. We'll let it slide this one time.
Well, how's your guys' night going?
Eventful.
It's eventful. Yeah. Mo, tell us a little bit about how these cars are driving and kind of the way things are going with the tire wear, and especially, like, I see these cars having understeer, and that's part of kind of what happened to you there, but just talk to me about what it's like controlling this machine with the tire wear and that understeer there.
Generally, I've been really liking how these cars have been driving. It's just that on that restart, I guess because I hadn't been running the outside the entire race, it just plowed on the restart, got into the wall, and then from there it just completely was unfathomably tight. If you can stay on the inside, it feels pretty good, except just at the first few laps after a restart, the inside of 3 and 4 is a death trap, and then you'll end up overcorrecting and doing what I did, even though that was more on the outside. But point still stands. 3 and 4 is a death trap.
Well, we're going to send you back up because the restart's about to start away, but thanks for jumping in the booth with us quick, Mo.
Yeah, and thank you for having me in here.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it's like Mo Perry said, Noah. You just got to stay inside if you want to stick. That's pretty much what he said.
Close
We're
enough.
back to green.
And once again,
Oh, I'm back.
once again, Jack Painter again holding on to the race lead. Isaac Johnson now has worked his way back up into the second spot after being stuck back in the 6th position on that last run. So now the fight for the race lead is back on. As don't look now, Harry Grindell again running up back in the top 5 after running in the back at the start of the race, got involved with a couple incidents. Now finds himself knocking on the door for the race lead. And we saw how good he was as a pusher, kind of leading the charge for his team back at Daytona. Now he finds himself again in the same position with hopefully a shot at the race win.
Well, there's plenty of time left for that to transpire, and in a good position. Still got Painter, Johnson, and Freilich in front. Mo Perry really loose out of turn number 2 back there at the back end of your screen you saw. But Grindell and Spencer Madden now on the inside. Isaac Johnson is hustling Jack Painter for the race lead. Back out onto the front stretch here. And Cole Freilich's kind of just watching this. We call him the madman for a reason, and it's because he does stuff like this. Freilich goes in deep. Johnson actually goes up into the wall. I don't know if that was reactionary to what was going on with Freilich, or if he just got a little bit ahead of himself going into the corner on his own. Nonetheless, 2 slipstream signs machines side by side through 3 and 4. The death trap, as Mo Perry called it. And Cole Freilich is looking pretty solid on the inside there, Noah. Looks like he might be able to put something together on Johnson. Oh, slide up the racetrack.
Yeah, that's the thing I have to keep talking about. You enter shallow into turn number 1, and you have so much speed off of corner number 4. You just see here, when they enter this turn, this is like a normal corner. So, and it's a little bit, I almost say it's a little bit higher banking. You kind of roll the corner a lot better than you would in turn number 1, but you have so much speed hanging into this corner, and it's such a weird entry for a turn that when you have as much speed as he was carrying, the car just wants to shoot straight up the racetrack because it has more of a gradual turn than what turn 3 does. So it's really deceiving. So you want to enter like you normally would, and then the car just shoots up straight to the wall, and he about had our 4th caution of the race there.
Yeah, we about saw it. Johnson really got sliding out of the turn 4 area there last time through, and then this time through, Freilich was the one basically sideways out of the corner. He's still chasing right up on the tail of Isaac Johnson. That extra little draft actually in the corners is going to give extra oversteer to the 15 car, which might keep it a little bit more stationary behind Johnson as they move through the middle of the corner, because Johnson's big time sliding, still sliding, still sliding. Saved it. Oh, look out, Freilich. Nice save off Spencer Madden's nose.
And he's going to get the pass with it. Here goes slide jump, and Isaac Johnson's going to knock down the turn 1 wall. He's going to hold on to it. Oh, tight, tight, tight. Oh, my goodness, guys. Hold on to it.
Oh, nice driving there from Isaac Johnson to keep it under control. Freilich with a good run in there. Gio Selzy would be proud as he goes around the outside again. Thunders off the top side. Oh, Johnson. Johnson is so loose right now, Noah. He just slides out of every corner.
Those tires are white hot right now. That's not what you want to be doing. It sounds like Jack Painter, who, by the way, we just point this out, he is checking out right now. He has a 1 second lead over this pack, and now it looks like Cole Freilich finally gets the gap he was looking for, as now Isaac Johnson has so much heat in these tires, he's going to start falling like a rock here, is what I'm going to start to assume.
Jack Painter leads to the end of lap 69. Nice, and that's
Nice.
Cole Freilich coming in as well. About a second, a little bit less between Freilich and Painter. Spencer Madden and Isaac Johnson side by side. And as they come back down the back straightaway, the 6 car on the inside, will he try the slider just like Freilich did? No, he stays down low. Isaac Johnson going to try to thunder off the top, but a little bit of contact there with the wall as we go on board with him down the front stretch. And contact with the 6 on the front straightaway.
Man, they are getting dicey. And how fitting is this that they started racing this hard on lap 67, huh?
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy. they are going at it too. Look at these guys; they are still on each other, and this is just allowing the top drivers to check out. If I was Mr. Madden, I think of course, you're having fun. That's what matters first and foremost. But I mean, let's go on board with him and just check this out. You can see how far ahead Cole Freilich is, and then you can already see just ahead about half the straightaway length is what the gap from first to third is. And considering how close they were on the restart, it's going to be a lot harder for him to catch up because of how close these guys were racing in the early stages of this race.
Yeah, I just don't think it's that. I think it's not the hugest deal in the world for Spencer Madden right now, because with the way this racing's been going and the way these cars tune in, like, I would not be surprised to see a couple more yellows coming in time. We're getting close to lap 75 here, so we'll be close to 50 laps to go. There's still plenty of time for things to happen, but when you see racing like we've got here with Isaac Johnson, Harry Grindell, Mo Perry, Adam Harrington, and considering that two of these guys are some of the more significant members of causing yellows so far in this race, I want to stay in close proximity to the leader. I want to learn what those lines look like. What is Jack doing off of the corners? However, you don't have to be the leader right now. And I think the best thing for Cole and Spencer to do is acknowledge that.
And the thing that you want to keep in mind too is looking at the lap time. Spencer Madden, as it stands right now, is just hauling the mail. Last time by 23.814 was a lap he put to Jack Painter's 23.92. So he is running about a tenth a second lap faster. And he did the same thing the lap prior. It was about a couple thousand off of being a tenth, but right now he is chewing away at the gap. We talked about it being about a second. The gap is 1.2, but I mean, he's staying consistent with him, if not a little bit faster.
They're also building a bit more of a gap to Johnson and Grindell because Johnson and Grindell are side by side back there. But Spencer Madden, yeah, Spencer's doing a good job running some solid times. Although Cole Freilich, I will say, is faster than Spencer right now in second place. As you saw a little wiggle out of turn number 2 from Isaac Johnson. Grindell comes through. Mo Perry on the inside. Adam Harrington going to look to try to see if he can maybe put the 4 car in the picture. And we go single file now, jumping back to the inside. Johnson's going to switch lanes on Mo Perry. And Mo goes into the corner hot to try to hold the momentum. And that is going to hold for the time being. Harry Grindell takes the lead over. And now that this group is single file, it'll be interesting to see what the lap times look like. And if they're a little bit more comparable to Jack Painter up front.
And looking back up front, Cole Freilich, you talked about he was running much faster lap times than that of the 97 car. This time by Cole Freilich ran a 23.96 to Jack Painter's 24.02. So I'd say, again, about close to about at least half a tenth off of or ahead of the race leader, and that's allowing him to kind of chew this gap down. And now, if you don't look close enough, I think Cole Freilich will be knocking on the door for this race lead here in a couple laps.
There's definitely potential for it, although that time it goes the opposite direction for Freilich. He's starting to go the backwards way. He slid out of turn number 4 pretty big, but yeah, the 15 car, I mean, Cole's going to be smart about this to a point. Like, he's not going to run this car into the ground trying to pass Jack Painter right away. However, Cole, we call him the madman because he can at times be a little bit aggressive. He can be a little bit impatient. It looks like right now he seems to be doing the opposite, which is good because there's really no reason for him to push it any further. He's got Spencer Madden behind, who Madden has done the same thing to Freilich that Freilich did to Painter. Oh, no! That was not what Cole Freilich wanted to do there. He got clipped the wall pretty solid out of turn number 2. And based off of what Mo Perry said, we'll have to kind of wait and see if there's any sort of long-lasting effect on Freilich's car as a result of that. Because Mo talked about that when we were talking to him in the booth here, that you can get the car a little bit squirreled up and messed up by doing things like that.
And now you can see Spencer Madden going to start looking to the inside to try and take back the second position. Freilich having a top line, he is going to be able to jet off the corner exit and to clear himself heading into turn number 3. But again, here comes the run. Being on the bottom side in turn number 4, that's kind of where the advantage is going to give him a little bit more momentum. But again, Cole Freilich starting to check out a little bit as the gap to the lead now about 0.8 of a second. But if these two stay side by side, it's going to become over a second if they're not careful.
Yeah, this is going to be building the gap that Jack Painter wants to see, even though with so much race left. I mean, I keep saying that, and we do keep ticking off the lap times, but this is the kind of thing that Jack Painter needs that gap from, and Spencer Madden pretty easily takes over second place from Freilich now. You're watching him go into turn number 1 and through turn number 2 now, and I wonder if the 6 cars just held onto his tires a little bit better. Freilich was sliding a lot more, and I'm sure that's at least a part in what's going on right here on your screen.
Yeah, you can see the gap now starting to check a little bit more. I wonder if it's because of the fact that with how many laps have been put on his tire, I would guarantee this is our longest green flag round of the race so far. You know, I talked about it to Spencer earlier before the race even started. It takes about 10 laps for that bottom side to get worked in with these tires. And now that it's been over 10 laps, Spencer's really starting to work that bottom side, and that's really what's working for him because he's running a different line to what Jack Painter is. So as they cross the line, Jack Painter's last lap time is going to be a 24.176, a 24.071. So over a tenth of a second difference between first and second, just running up against the wall and running on the bottom. And that's really going to allow this number 6 car to really chew down that race lead. And he's going to start knocking on the race lead if he's keeping up at it. But looking again back to what I was talking about earlier, with how hard these guys are running, you look back at Isaac Johnson, who we talked about earlier in the race, is running up for the race lead. With how hard he had to fight just to hold on to a top 5 spot, he is now falling back to 6. He is over 4 seconds behind the race leader.
And I think that's also just speaking to the lengths of what Jack Painter's able to do with his tires, on top of what we saw Isaac Johnson doing when he was in that little battle of the 4-car grouping. You're going to use up those tires quicker, you're going to be a little bit slower now. So this is the longest run, like Noah said. These guys are going to run as long as they can on these tires, which the fuel run's going to extend further than the tires are, or at least what the tires are going to do that the drivers like. And as I say all of these things, talking about these tires coming into play, I'm starting to wonder, Noah, just based off the timing screen that I have about, it looks like Spencer Madden is just consistently bringing this gap down and down and down. That I wonder if he even did a better job than Jack Painter did at conserving those general tires, or what the deal is that now all of a sudden Spencer Madden definitely is gaining that time back.
I think it's kind of a mixture of the two. It's just kind of the fact that he hasn't been running that aggressively. Of course, Jack Painter, I would assume he's been doing this long enough that he knows how to save these tires. But I think it's just the fact that Spencer has figured something out in this racetrack. Because again, you know, Jack's been committed to the top line. He has not really moved off the wall at all since the restart. But Spencer Madden has really figured out that bottom line. He is just rolling to the center of the turn a heck of a lot better than what Jack is able to do, because he's going to enter up off the wall here in the corner. And, you know, I would hope this is saving his tire. That's the only reason I can see this, unless of the fact that he just doesn't feel that comfortable on the bottom. But, you know, again, just hats off to Spencer. He has figured something out, because in the time that we've talked, he has knocked the lead down 3/10 of a second. He is on the tail of that number 6 car as Cole Frederick bounced off the wall in turn number 2.
And Painter actually got really tight coming out of the corner. I saw the 97 do a major correction at the very end of coming out of turn number 2 to keep the car straight down the back straightaway. And that killed a lot of momentum that Spencer Madden is now able to get that little gap in. And the 6 car, I mean, we got a battle for the lead now, Noah. These cars are right nose and tail coming down the backstretch. There's going to be some momentum gain from the draft for the 6 car. And Jack Painter runs to the top side, almost trying to do a Larson line for the top line around Rockingham Speedway as we close in inside of 35 laps to go now. Painter's been leading for quite some time. Spencer Madden might be saying, it might be my turn to do this.
Yeah, Mommy said it's my turn to take the race lead. He needs to move out of the way. He is really knocking on the door for this race lead. And one of the things I'm starting to notice, too, is he gets really shallow, or more of a shallow, I don't know if it's shallow or not. He attacks the entry of the corner, but especially in turn number 1, if you can see the difference, he has a much more aggressive entry. He's able to drive it a little bit deeper in the turn. Look at how much deeper he drives in. He gets real close to the bumper of that 97 car with the way he drives into turn number 1. He's just kind of able to attack the corner. I don't know how he's able to do that, but he is so much better on entry than that 97 car. But again, as we keep talking about, you're up against the wall, you're able to roll the momentum better off the corner exit, and that is what's allowing Painter to hold on to the race lead as it stands. But that 6 car, again, it's just a matter of time. He is consistently knocking on the door of the 97 car, and with lap traffic ahead, he might be able to use him as a pick here.
He might, as he comes off of turn number 2, he actually got a little bit of a run on the bottom side. It looks like Spencer gave up that run going down the backstretch to jump in line behind Painter as they come through 3 and 4. Staying on the inside, gets a little tight off the corner, but Spencer Madden definitely has the car of these two right now, Noah. It looks like that 6 car, especially with the lines that they're choosing, staying down low, he can get that run a little bit. It's a little bit shorter down there, but the momentum, as you can see him go down the back straightaway, is in the favor of the 97. But Jack Painter stays up top. Spencer Madden maybe saved this car enough to put a power down move on him, and these two are actually doing a really good job of handling these cars right now, because we've seen a lot of these other drivers, They're sort of falling backwards like Cole Frelick, Isaac Johnson, sliding around like a stick of butter on an ice rink, and these two seem to be planted in fairly well. It's like a 3-year-old with a Chinese finger trap. Like, that stuff's just, it's thick, and it's not coming off.
That's what she said. I don't know. It's incredible to really watch. Spencer Ray is really... He has this track figured out, but the thing that we're starting to notice as well, and this is what I talked about at the beginning of the broadcast before the stream crashed, is there's these bumps on the corner exit of turn number 4, and when you're down on the bottom, it's so challenging to get the drive off that you're looking for because you hit those bumps and it just upsets the rear end of the car and it almost wants to shoot up the racetrack. So I think that's a bit of the challenge. I noticed that if you see here, you kind of see the front end start to bounce a little bit as now there's the lead that we've been looking for. Now the fight for lead is going on there. Now roles are reversed. Let's see, does Painter have the tire length to drive it on the bottom? No, he doesn't. Now Spencer Madden's going to start to check out here for the race lead.
Yeah, that pick of Nolan Sanford right there, the lapped car, that could play a factor as you see Spencer following the 52 car down there. Excuse me. Nolan Sanford gets out of the way now as Painter losing time. Spencer Madden really doing a solid job with this car right now. He ran the bottom line and was able to have the tire to get through there, but also on the top side, like, he's got the momentum on Jack Painter. So this gap's just going to build already up to a half second as Sanford stays out of the way of Cole Frelick, and Harry Grindel now into the picture as well. Grindel very slowly, he patiently waited for the time where he could catch back up, and now that he's back in sights, he goes to the inside of Cole Frelick into turn number 1. I'm sure Frelick's tires are going to be warm, slippery, and yes, Harry Grindel, third place is in his hands. And if he does a little slide job move through 3 and 4, although Frelick's going to fight on the top side to fight against it, Mo Perry and Harry Grindel on the bottom. Going to see if Frelick spins the tires. He does not this time.
Yeah, again, Frelick just able to roll the bottom a little bit better than that 70 car, and it allows him to get the run on corner exit he's looking for. But I think the thing I'm curious about is how much damage he's done to the right side of that car. I don't know if it's that thing we talked about back when we did OSRL Richmond, the fact that, there's a little weird thing that iRacing likes to do when you're spectating that it looks like you hit the wall, but it doesn't, but it still makes the sound. So I don't know if that's the case, because there's not really any damage to the right side of that race car, but we've watched him a couple of times. Looks like he about smacks the wall, exiting the corner, just trying to get the run off the top side that he's been looking for.
Fantastic run. Actually, from both of them, from Grindel in the middle of the corner and Mo Perry out of the corner that time through turn 2, as Frelick with a little bit of a blink here in game comes back to us. Grindel really looks good, and I saw in the chat of this race that Harry Grindel was talking about at the beginning of the race. He was very frustrated by the lack of grow. Oh no! Oh no! Oh man!
And for the, third time tonight, Harry Grindel gets caught up in somebody else's mess.
And I'm sure Harry Grindel is going to be pretty upset about that. That was tough. I can't really blame Frelick that much. It's the same thing that's been going on all night, but really tough break for Harry Grindel. Fighting back that whole time to get into this position, and that's what happens.
So we're going to look here. Harry Grindel, third in line. Jack Painter on the much older tires. Bit of a tight squeeze because of the fact he's only up against the wall. Frelick going to try and make it work on the inside. I think he tried to back out of that, but just didn't have enough time with Mo Perry being right behind him. Tries to back out of the pass. It just doesn't work, and then Harry just gets caught up in Cole Frelick's mess there, and that sends him. He's now crabbing down the straightaway. As we're going to try and take a look here from a little bit higher up.
See what the replay can show from a different angle. Maybe Grindel goes in really deep into there. Frelick.
Oh yeah, you can see it there. Jack Painter, he checks up on the exit of the corner to keep it off the wall. And with how close Cole was, he didn't really have anywhere he could go. He was right on him. And that put him in a no-win scenario. We're going to take an onboard look here with the 15 to see if we can't see it. So there's a drive in the corner.
One more time.
Jack's going to wash up. He's going to check up right into the path, and Cole just had nowhere to go. That's just one of them racing deals. And sadly, the 70 car gets caught up. I want to take a look at Mo Perry, because he, again, front row view to all of this. He's going to have a heck of a view trying to dodge all of this.
Yep, they just came through the pit cycle in the meantime here, and they all got repaired up. But we're going to go on board with Mo Perry this time, and we'll check it back. And Noah already walked it through, but Painter up on the top side. I'm still like, Grindel just really sent it in there, and tough deal for Grindel the way that transpired. It almost worked. It was a little aggressive, but it would have worked if it wouldn't have been for Painter's little miscue there.
Yeah, and that's the thing we keep talking about. You're on the older tires. It's a lot harder to get the grip that you're looking for when the tires are as worn as they are. And we pointed out as well, that was the longest green flag round of the night so far. So that's kind of, I would say, a little bit uncharted territory for these guys to go through, being on tires that old. But now, as you can see, the pace car lights are off on top of what I would assume to be a Chevy Silverado. And now Spencer Madden, again, I believe he's holding on to the race lead. He's going to choose a top side, which I don't blame him. I'd do the same thing. But Mo Perry up into the second spot.
Mo Perry is in the picture. Now, I don't know if Mo's maybe held out a little bit longer on the field, that maybe we haven't quite seen everything out of that 54 car, but I hate to say it. I love Mo. Fantastic human being. But Mo, I just don't think has the car like the same way that Cole Freilich and Jack Painter and Spencer Madden do tonight. I don't know about you, Noah, but I just haven't seen it out of the 54 car.
Yeah, but it's one of those things this late in the race, you might as well take a gamble. You want to go for the race win. You're not here to run for fifth, so if he can hold it up there, by all means, hats off to him. But this is going to be an interesting challenge with Jack Painter back there in the third spot.
Oh, and not a great restart
Spun
for
the
Mo Perry
tires.
there. A little bit of a little tire spin there. Spencer Madden is going to jump out to the lead.
And he's
no
gonna spin.
contention. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and he's going to get clobbered from behind.
Oh. Who was that hit? Was that Sanford back there, or was that Rip? That was Sanford.
Sanford. And we were back under
Tough
yellow.
deal for Nolan. Oh, and there's a little bit of extracurriculars too after Nolan Sanford and Austin Rip a little bit of dish back for something there from the 52 car.
We'll take a look at that here in a
I
second.
don't know what that's even about.
Just a self spin. Let's take a look at the 52 car to see what goes on here.
Yeah, so he's going to come up on Rip right in 3.
Oh, he had no steering.
Ah.
The car just went straight because he's the one that clobbered into the back of that number 54
Oh, yeah, you're
car.
right. You're right, because Sanford's still trying to get that car into the pits right now, but this is the replay back.
So let's take a look at his hands. Let's see if you can see it here. You can see he's turning the wheel, and it's just not going anywhere. He had nowhere to go. He probably had no idea that he lost that steering too, and he's trying to get loaded up. I guarantee you that one of the suspension pieces had broke on the car, and he was just a passenger at that point.
Sanford's still trying to get that car into the pit lane, and I think this time it's going to work out. That's a tough deal for Sanford after all of that. And Mo Perry, just kudos to Perry for trying something. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out the way that Mo would have wanted it to, but pretty much right off rip. So
This is
the
the
driver's got a
onboard.
little bit wound up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's the onboard. Now, go ahead, Noah.
Yeah, so here's the onboard. Again, just fresh tires, up there in the lead. Just comes off the middle of the turn. I think it's something he's used to, not having to worry about traffic. So he's trying to get the run off, and the thing just ends up spinning out, and he has nowhere he can go.
Mm-hmm. Tough deal. We're probably coming back to 1 to go, but real quick, we have the moment. Why don't we try to get a little bit of perspective from Nolan Sanford on this situation? Nolan, you got Joe Donahue up in the broadcast booth quickly here under yellow. Tough situation there. Looks like you tried your best, but couldn't quite get out of the way of that 54 car sliding in front of you.
Yeah, I came out of the corner and it was just smoke everywhere, and I was like, I know someone spun. I never saw him until the last second, plowed into him, and then I killed Austin. I went down the corner and it just didn't turn, so that sucked for him.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, and especially getting closer to the end of this race. I mean, what do you do with the rest of this run now? You got the car fixed up. The run's going to be a little bit short, and there's not too many cars in the field, but what is this going to do to you with the way you take this restart, especially considering we were straight off of another one?
I'm just gonna go as hard as I can here and not spin out, because these cars fire off so sideways on the beginning of these run.
How many laps is it taking to get that under control?
About 10 laps. But in this run, you'll have everybody going as hard as they can.
Well,
If
word.
this goes green.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. I'll throw you back in the booth here. You're about to go green again, but thanks for the kudos, Nolan, and a good luck the rest of the way.
All right, see ya.
And I called him you, and then you are him, and now we're all here together, and we're having a good, happy family time. It's
Yes,
going to be
sir.
great. Green flag is back out.
Spencer Ray going to get the jump on the restart. He's going to have a pretty good margin for the lead entering in the first turn. Harry Grinnell tried to pick the nose in on the outside of that 15 car. He's going to try it again. Cole going to go for the block to try and keep him from trying to make that move. Here comes Isaac Johnson now, putting his name back in the picture for the fight for the win. He's going to peek it on the inside of that number 70 car, and he's going to try and take the third spot as they roar off of turn number 4.
I think every single one of the top 3 drivers got the outside wall there as they came back across the stripe. This is a situation, I think, Noah, that's actually going to feed into the favor of the 15 and the 33 car. We've got pretty much a short run to the finish of this race now as we're coming up on 10 laps to go. Freilic's been really good, and Johnson has too. Putting the power down, they sacrifice long-term tire length to have that power and have those moves that they've been making throughout this race. And as we get close to 10 laps to go, they don't really need those tires to last quite as long this time. They just need to get to the finish. And Freilic's got to try to figure out something to keep in touch with Spencer Madden right now. 6 car's looking fantastic. And as he jumps up into that a little bit, you saw on your screen, Isaac Johnson and Harry Grindell still side by side for 3rd place. That's the battle on the racetrack, Noah.
I thought I heard somebody spitting. That's why I went back there, because I thought it was Harry again. So looking back up at the front, you're talking about you again. You're approaching about 10 laps to go, so you're completely right. From this point on, big snap there for the number 15 car. Great job holding on to it for the Batman Cole Freilich. It's that thing we keep talking about. Now you don't have to worry about tires. You don't have to worry about the stint length. You don't have to worry about anything. All you have to worry about is who's the leader, how far back are you, and how fast can you get there. Can you make that bottom side work? If not, just run it down on the wall, run it off the wall, see if you can't get that run that you're looking for. And Cole Freilich now, right on the bumper, he's going to push him down the straightaway. Let's see if we're going to get a slide job out of here in the next few laps.
I wondered if Cole was even going to maybe give him a little bit of a chrome horn going into turn number 3. Didn't quite look like it, but man, Freilich, he's got the run off turn 4 this time. Goes to the inside as they come past the stripe again, inside 10 laps to go. And Freilich, he's going to try it. Not quite the slide job that Johnny Gibson wanted, but Freilich's right there, still down the back straightaway.
Here he is, he's going to drive it off the corner. And he got him. He's going to hold on to it.
You got to shout it. Slide job, Cole Freilich, and he's back into the race lead. 15 car, 9 laps to go. Spencer Madden going to look to the inside again, sends it in deep. Doesn't get there.
Yeah,
Cole Freilich with the momentum on the top.
Cole Freilich pulling that dirt move there. He saw the sider coming. He drove it in deeper to try to block it, and that's exactly what he needed to do. Now he's going to hold on to the race lead. Spencer Madden going to try and drive it off the bottom. It's been about 10 laps since the start of the restart, and this is where Madden is really starting to be the strongest that he gets the performance out of that car. Now, Freilich going to try and block the bottom. He's going to run low entering through turns 1 and 2. That's going to allow Madden to get the run off the top. He's going to bounce off the wall, but they're going to go tail to tail, or nose to tail, as they drive it off into turn number 3 yet again.
If I'm Spencer Madden, I think I'm going to try to get this back under control a little bit before I do moves like this right here. I think I want to get my car, I want to get the tires at a reasonable temperature. I want to tick off just a few more of these laps before I really put the hustle on Cole Freilich. I definitely wouldn't let him breathe too much, and if I'm Freilich, I'm thinking I got to go and I got to make this car as wide as possible. So I think Cole's not too worried about the tires. He's worried about this mirror, at least for the moment. He's worried about looking out the side of the car as Spencer Madden through 3 and 4 pulled up beside him, but down the front straightaway, the momentum goes back to the 15. And at that same time, Noah, we're seeing Harry Grindell come back into the picture here on the inside of the racetrack. A Kamikaze Motorsports car is looking really good right now.
Yeah, for a guy who's been involved in about half the incidents here tonight, he is still finding the pace out of that number 70 car to get himself back up here for the fight for the race lead. And remember, he got spun off the nose of the number 15 car. So again, he's a little bit fired up because of the fact that every single time he's been able to work his way up to the front of the field, something happens and take him out of contention. Now here with 5 laps to go, he now finds himself in a position he is going to get an excellent finish here and a good finish for the point standings.
I don't want to jinx it to say so of the same, but Grindell really had gone through adversity throughout this race, still in a solid contending position, although Isaac Johnson looks to the inside here. You see down the front straightaway, 33 car making a move to try to stay in the top 3 as Grindell goes to the outside. That momentum should carry. Johnson comes off the bottom, just barely stays off the inside of the 70 car. Freilic's got about 3 car lengths between himself and Madden. Madden's just a little bit up the road from these two who are still side by side. 3 laps to go at the line. There you see Madden, and there you see Jack Painter behind them.
They're going to go side by side yet again. Cole Freilich holding a bit of a healthy lead, at least strong enough that's going to block the number 6 car from having a shot of performing that slide job. Is now, I don't know, I don't want to assume that Spencer has run through these tires, but he's just not able to get the run that we saw out of him in the last run. Cole Freilich's really just able to check out right now, and if Spencer's not careful, he is looking at potentially losing a podium position here.
And as we see that, Freilich still just holding off up front. Spencer Madden's coming back into the picture a little bit for Grindel, and yes, Johnson's still fighting with him there to try to get into the top 3. Jack Painter, so strong, so long in this race, still in the top 5, kind of in the picture as the white flag comes out. Cole Freilich, one more time around Noah. All he's got to do is just run a solid lap here.
He's holding on to a healthy margin. All he has to do is keep it off the wall, and this race is going to be his. Through turns 3 and 4, for the final time, Madden going to try and make one more dive. It's not going to be enough. Out of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. First win of the season goes to the Madman. Cole Freilich wins it at the Rock.
Statement victory to come back after not participating at Daytona and making it happen here. Spencer Madden unofficially 2nd place at the end of it, and unofficially in the final podium spot there, the 70, Harry Grindel. So great run to the finish. Freilich really, he pulled the moves, Noah, and he held it off after the time being. Like I said, that short run didn't really have to worry about the tires as much, and that's kind of the name of the game of what worked well for Freilich specifically, but also Isaac Johnson tonight.
And he is going to take it for a spin in the grass along the front stretch here at the Rockingham Speedway here in North Carolina. After sitting the first race of the week back in Daytona out, we talked to him last week. You remember he said, thank goodness we have 2 drop weeks. He now knows he needs to deliver and he needs to perform if he wants to have a shot for the championship. And I don't think there's any better way to kick off the start to his own season than by winning his first race of the season.
Yeah, fantastic for Cole Freilich, a Rockingham victor here. He's won championships with OSRL, and this is exactly how you do it. He's going to keep burning it down. Princeton, Kentucky's finest on the front straightaway here to celebrate this victory with Slipstream signs on the front. Beautiful race car for Cole and car number 15 as he will continue to use up that General Tire rubber. And once he's gotten through to the carcass of those tires, we'll give him a few. He'll pull into victory lane, and we'll get to talk to him as at some point here. But he's still enjoy. Oh,
parked it.
Nice stuff, Cole Freilich.
Heck, that deserves a replay in of itself. Look at that. That was incredible.
Yeah, that was a nice little slide in there. We are going to get to talk to, looks like the top 3 from tonight's show. But we will start with the winner and go ahead and give him a second to get the helmet off, get the gloves off. That nice little slide in there, very well done. It's like he's done it before or something, Noah.
Oh yeah, I think he has a bit of experience trying to do stuff like that. But yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
He's climbing out of the race car, and we're going to go ahead and just drag him straight into the booth because who needs to talk to your crew, guys? Cole Freilich, your winner tonight here at Rockingham Speedway. Cole, you come back after a suspension last week in Daytona, and you said, thank goodness you have 2 drop weeks. I don't think there's any better way to come back from suspension than winning in your first debut.
Yeah. Honestly, speaking of debuts, we debuted a new paint scheme tonight. This is the short track car for the season. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun. I kind of... We sucked on the long run there because I kind of burnt my crap up trying to pass Isaac. And then, I knew we got a 25-lap run there. Knew me and Jack were strong on that on the shorter runs, so I just put it up on the wall and prayed to God it stuck.
You know, taking me through the ending laps there, because we talked about it all race long, just kind of how well Spencer Madden was able to make the bottom side work. But when you saw that tire saving wasn't going to be a thing anymore, you know, how did you guys manage to be able to make the top work with how loose this race car was in the early stages of the run?
Well, honestly, weirdly enough, it tightened up there that last run. I went off into turn 1, about lost my front end. I just kind of had confidence in the car once we ran a few laps in there. And, really, I knew I knew I could get Spencer on a shorter run because I knew he was going to try to pace himself a little bit there. But yeah, I mean, trying to think of how long ago it was, but we had a Gav ARCA race here one time in the Gen 6, and Isaac Johnson and Aiden Walker got to battling real hard. I just put it up on the wall, same line I was running tonight, and passed both of them. So I knew it worked. It just, yeah, I mean, it just come down to racing the crap out of each other because that really was killing Tire tonight.
You know, we talk about the championship fight. You have those 2 drop weeks that you said was going to be so important for your championship fight. You win here tonight. You're now 1-0 to start the season. Next week, you're heading to a road course, which is a bit of an interesting place to see you run. I remember a couple years ago when we were broadcasting for another company, you made an appearance there running top 5. How's it going to feel trying to continue on this momentum for the fight for the championship to be heading to the first road course?
Well, when we tested out the road course, I felt really good. We were the fastest Toyota, fastest car in testing. So yeah, I think the JRI cars will be really good next week because me and Isaac we're both pretty good at Sonoma. So I think we'll be up front. But you know we could have some ringers come in and just clean house on us. So yeah, I mean Sonoma's a fun track. It's got a lot of good grip in this car, and it's a lot more my style. So I think we'll be all right.
Well, congratulations on the race win. We'll let you get back to it, and we'll see you next week when we head out to Sonoma Valley.
All right, appreciate you, boys.
And that is your race winner, Mr. Cole Freilich. Finishing second here tonight is the number 6 of Spencer Madden. I believe he actually has disconnected. So I'm going to hand it over to Joe, who will be speaking with our third place finisher, Harry Grindell.
Well, this is going to be interesting, though. I'm very excited to get the perspective of the driver of car number 70 here as we bring him in, and we've got him. Harry, this is Joe Donahue up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy? All right. Well, Harry, you had plenty of adversity to get through this race tonight, so I'm sure at the end of the day, you know, third place doesn't feel too bad considering what you had to go through to get there.
Absolutely not. There was a lot of nonsense. There was a lot of drama. I kept trying to play the long game. It kept not working. It then worked and then immediately stopped working when Jack and Cole kind of got into the wall there. But yeah, just kept trying to be a little bit smart, a little bit methodical, not do anything too brash. And in the end, that got me a podium. So I'm happy with that. That's about as well as tonight could have gone for me.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you in those 2 incidents at the very beginning of the race. We saw the little sort of half spins both times through the corners of turns 1 and 2. And I mean, that was just not a good way to start off the night. I'm sure you felt that one. We actually, I guess in your favor, though, Harry, you got lucky that there was a little bit of a miscue and we had unlimited tire sets tonight. That definitely probably came back into your favor and helped you a lot.
It probably did. Being able to have those kind of resets of, okay, put fresh rubber on the car, get whatever damage is fixed, which, like you said, they were kind of half spins as opposed to crashes. So I didn't really have any damage from the car foaming. But yeah, having the ability that I probably shouldn't have done to just get fresh rubber on the car and reset was definitely mentally helped a lot. Because obviously, if you have to stay on the same rubber, you'll feel it in the car. It'll get on your nerves and you won't drive so well. So I was able to have that kind of clean state kind of get me back into the right kind of mindset. And once we got going with the end of the long run aside, I was able to kind of keep cool and strategize how I needed to. And like I said, it ended up working out in the end. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And all of that said and done with a 7th place finish. You had a really good, strong run at Daytona, 7th place there, and then this one tonight. Harry, your points championship looks like you got off to a fairly decent start. So as you ride this forward, do you think that momentum builds for you? How do you maybe carry that forward, and especially into like a road course at Sonoma, try to go a couple steps closer to the top?
Yeah, I mean, consistency is always like the thing that I mainly try to go for. I'm not fast enough to go winning races usually. I am fast enough to kind of contend for top 5s and top 10s. So going into Sonoma, it's a track that I like. I'm not necessarily always the fastest, but if I go into that with the similar mindset of tonight as, you know, be a bit sensible, try and think about what I'm doing and be smart. And then the same for Kern, Phoenix, so on and so forth. Just try and keep a cool head, just keep showing up to every race, turning the laps, finishing the races, and just letting the points kind of take care of themselves from there is usually how I go for it. So we'll see what I'm able to put together going forward.
Absolutely. Smart strategy to move forward, Harry. Anybody you want to thank and shout out, anybody on like from the broadcast or whatnot, just throw them in there. That helps you get the Kamikaze Motorsports number 70 car into position to finish third tonight and move forward in the season.
Well, obviously, I should start off with thanking you for having the broadcast up. Broadcasting is something that can be quite difficult to come by nowadays, especially with Austral. You know, we're kind of going through some flux, some change. So having you around here to broadcast these races is a huge plus. So thank you for that. Obviously, Kamikaze Motorsport, with everybody involved there, we're a team kind of in flux as well at the minute. So being able to put on good results and fly our banner well is certainly nice. KGR as well, and then obviously to Griffin for putting on this ARCA series. This car's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying driving it, and yeah, looking forward to another 18 more races of this.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate having the little international flair into the ARCA series here, Harry, and congratulations again for the third place run.
Yeah, thank you very much.
That's awesome stuff. And that is your third place finisher, Harry Grindell. Looks like we are not going to get the second place finisher tonight, Noah, but that's okay. We had a relatively small field, so maybe just to move it forward here, we can look at the final unofficial results of what went down in this event. We are rocking a solid Cole Freilich up at the top of the board. Used to seeing him do pretty solid. Spencer Madden will come home in second place. Really good run for Spencer tonight. Had probably the best car, and if it wasn't for that late race yellow, I don't think it would have finished the way it did. Harry Grindell ends up third at the end of the night, car number 70. Also very strong, but had to go overcome a lot of adversity to get back up there, so that's definitely a win for the Chevrolet SS. Fourth place at the end of it, Isaac Johnson didn't quite get to capitalize the way that Cole did off of that short run to the finish, but fourth place is not too shabby, so that's a first place and a fourth place to start the season. Jack Painter ends up fifth place at the end of it, rounding out your top five. That car led a lot of laps, very solid run for him. Adam Harrington actually had a really good night compared to what happened at Daytona 1 week ago. Sixth place for the Ford, not too shabby. Nolan Sanford had to kind of rebound off of being involved in some of those incidents throughout the race. Seventh place for Nolan at the end. We talked to him. We also talked to Mo Perry during this broadcast. Rough night for Mo, ends up eighth, but definitely one that I'm sure we're going to go to bed tonight, forget about in the morning. You've got Jet Miller in ninth place at the end of it. We talked about Jet a good bit at the beginning of the race and then kind of fell off at the end. And Jet Miller was the last car to come across actually on the lead lap, so every car that finished the race was on the lead lap, but Austin Ripp in 10th place, 20 laps behind, did have to secede after that contact with Nolan Sanford under yellow. Griffin Jones let go of it a long while ago, only 19 laps finished for the 53 car, and then Christopher B. Williams and Madeline Roten both joined the session and then did not start the race, so they are scored on your screen even though they did not actually take the green flag. That is the 13 drivers at the end of the 125 laps here for Rockingham. Noah, your final thoughts, comments on what we saw from the Rock tonight?
You know, we keep talking about it week in and week out. You know, you don't really need that many cars to put on a good show, and tonight was no different. You know, we only had 11 starters. You about had 9 for a majority of the race. And from the front to the back of the field, there was consistent racing start to finish to put on a great show and end it all off. Cole Freilich gets his first win of the season, and now that's going to bring him right back into the championship fight, and we're going to have a fight in our hands, because now you have Isaac Johnson, who won back at Daytona. He finishes fourth. Cole Freilich was suspended last week. He finishes first here tonight. And then you have the guys like Spencer Madden, who had the rough start. He comes back to finish second, and Isaac Johnson, or my bad, Harry Grindell, I believe he finished like second or third last week at Daytona. He comes back to finish third. So you have a lot of guys early on who are already starting to make really good bids for this ARCA championship.
Absolutely, but you know, we're only 2 races in, and there's 18, and there's 2 drop weeks. So while we can talk about momentum, like, just we have to be honest with ourselves to know that anything can change, and there's plenty of time left for things to move around, and there's plenty of different types of racetracks to go to that could just completely change the momentum of that championship hunt. And like we've already mentioned here, we're going to Sonoma for race number 3 next week. That is definitely a lot different than running Rockingham, my friend.
Absolutely, but it's one of those tracks that's always able to put on a good show, and that is not a race. It's going to be a John Carr doubleheader, so it's going to depend a little bit on how many cars show up. But if it's anything like tonight, then I think we have a really good fight in our hands when we enter wine country for the third race of the season. But another thing that we need to keep in mind too is what week it is. It is currently Daytona week in real life. A lot of the cars and the teams and the real life drivers that may be competing here are down in Daytona Beach for speed weeks, including one of our own, Mr. Presley Sora, going to be making his debut in the ARCA series at Daytona. We wish him the best of luck. If you look, actually, one of the banners here on the backstretch, that team that he runs for, the Fast Track Racing, they actually have a billboard off of turn number 2. That's what reminded me to wish him the best of luck as he heads down for speed weeks as well. His buddy Gavin Newton, one of his closest friends, is also his PR guy. He's down there as well. He should be back next week, as well as I believe Bobby Blazer as well made the trip down south to Daytona Beach for Speed Week. So there's a couple of drivers that are missing this week, but of course you want to wish them the best of luck as they make their bid for the ARCA 200 down in Daytona.
Absolutely. So that is going to be the conclusion of the broadcast from Rockingham Speedway for OSRL. Thank you to Griffin Jones for keeping us in the loop about getting this show broadcasted to you. We apologize about the technical difficulties throughout the night. We are human. We're running computers, but you know, with the data center push in this country, RAM's hard to come by. So next time out at Sonoma, you're going to want to keep eyes on it for the OSRL broadcast. But in the meantime, on behalf of Mighty Mac, also known as my friend Noah, here on the booth with me, I'm Joe Donahue. Thank you for your continued support coverage of the YouTube channel and these broadcasts for OSRL. We'll be excited to tune in with you and check in again next time.